Hello everybody, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. We're here. We're here with Agos. Uh, he's not a horse though. This is a snake friend. When I see this, I'm like, where's my horse? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Argos returns to playing his flute, and the song washes over the valley like a refreshing rain. He closes his eyes and takes his time, as if insulting your presence. The pelt he wears sways with the wind. You hold your ground, looking up to the snake atop the statue. You are not used to dealing with people this difficult in your line of work, at least not directly. You feel like you're out of your element trying to negotiate with the snake. Say nothing. You hold your tongue. After he finishes his song, he looks down to you again. Well, what is it? You want the mirror? I made you an offer. Give me 2 minutes with the heifer? Didn't I Google this last episode and I just don't remember now because I totally didn't take a day break? Maybe more. Oh no. I know I Googled this one before. Cow? Is that a type of cow? Is that what that is?
Heifer.
Heifer? Huh. Okay. Why is the eye there then? Oh my god, language. Oh, I didn't even read the definition. I'm sorry, guys. Tradition. Gotta, read the full definition when we do that. A young female cow that has not borne a calf. So he's insulting our boy Asterion? Okay. And I'll consider giving it to you. If you will not take it, I have no reason to deal with you. I may serve the labyrinth's mission, but I am not bound to your will. I need not follow your demands. However, if the master will not take my first offer, I suppose there is one thing I want that may be palatable to you. You see, my good master, I am an entity of the labyrinth. The earth begets me. I am born from the divine, but even I have needs. With the previous master, I've had fine arrangements, which have turned into fruitful partnerships, even if we disagree on the whole hotel thing. Perhaps I should cut to the point, eh? I shall offer you a contract. It is exactly what it would seem to be, a piece of parchment, setting down rules and effects. You see, master, I may be half divine, but I need food and water. For decades now, I've scavenged these lands because Master Clement left without negotiating his terms with me. The contract is clear. You will bequeath to me a fragment of your power, so I may summon food, water, and shelter. I am tired of living off this barren land. As payment for your mercy, I shall give you this divine artifact, used to light the holy flame of the hearth. I'd say it's quite the fair exchange. You will have your comfort lair, and so will I. Save for Clement, whose reign was rightfully short. All other masters have signed this term. I've been useful to them all, as I shall be for you, and you for me. We can be good, gentlemanly neighbors. The contract is also as a aggression clause has a non-discretion clause. I shall not hurt you. You shall not hurt me. It is a self-enforcing arrangement. We shall both find ourselves unable to break it. The laws here, you see, apply themselves. Contracts are very powerful. On the off chance one of us somehow breaks one of these terms, then our pact is terminated. I shall lose the powers bequeathed to me, and your hotel's hearth will go out. The trinket reverts back to our ownership. To my ownership. It is a most fair agreement, I'd say. Argos hands the parchment to you. It reads, "This document binds the master of the labyrinth and the snake known as Argos, Panotetes, nailed it, henceforth referred to as the foreman. Okay, together in an arrangement. One article. The master leases to the foreman the authority to summon food, water, shelter, and furniture for use however he sees fit, including for the benefit of the cultivation of crops and raising animals. In return, the foreman's lease of the mirror of Hestia for the master's use however he sees fit, including for the benefit of the maintenance and structure known as the hotel as established in previous contracts. Article 2. The master and the leasee, that's probably how that's supposed to be pronounced, shall refrain from bringing harm to the other, directly and indirectly, by means including but not limited to, violence, incentivizing, or rewarding third parties towards aggression against the other, sabotaging structures, poisoning food and water, among others. Article 3. The master is forbidden from directly and indirectly interfering with the full enjoyment of the foreman's right granted under this contract. The foreman is... wait. The master is forbidden from directly and indirectly interfering with the full enjoyment of rights granted under this contract. I don't like that. I'll be honest. I don't... Enjoyment? Do you think you're entitled to enjoyment? Well, fuck you. This foreman is similar forbidden from bringing harm to the hotel. Okay. Article 4. The master is allowed to conduct inspections on the foreman's accommodations, save for the foreman's personal quarters, whose access is forbidden. I don't like that either. The foreman is forbidden from conspiring against the master and shall not use the right granted by this contract to bring him harm. The master and foreman are symmetrically bound by this article, including but not limited to using Hestia's mirror to bring harm to the foreman. Article 5. This is long. The contract is self-enforcing. If any of its articles are broken, then possession of Hestia's mirror reverts to the foreman, and any flame lit by the mirror is put out. At the same time, the foreman loses the rights transferred by the contract and any of all structures summoned by the 5 minutes intervals. Okay. Article 6. The self-enforcing contract is made effective at the moment of its signing. Remains valid during the master's reign until the following master acquires the hotel's deed. By the will of the master to whom the Olympian's reign over the realm was granted, this contract is established. Will you sign the contract? Which term? If I contest, do I have to contest like all of it? Like some of that, like specifically the enjoyment part. I'm like, what? I can't do anything to like interrupt his enjoyment? Is that what it's getting at? I don't like that. But it says contest the terms, plural. Like, what if I want to contest just one of them? It was 3, right? Article 3? Or was it Article 4? Like, the rest of that seemed fine, at least to me. Ugh. I don't... I need that mirror, though. Or just deal with him? He can't harm me. He can't harm the hotel. I guess I'm almost worried that like if other contracts and agreements I make later on conflict with like his enjoyment, then I lose the mirror, right? Am I thinking about this too hard? Whatever. Let's just sign it. Everything seems to be in order. I'm glad my contract is to the master's liking. You sign the document with your pen, and Argos hands you the mirror. It's a pleasure negotiating with you, master. I hope we have more opportunities to do so. You return to the hotel. Okay. Kindling for the holy flame. Kindling? Oh my god, we like using our humanity to light the flame? So that we can have 15 Estus flasks instead of just like 5? Can you go up to 15? Is it only a... Oh god, I don't even remember. I usually don't do the whole kindling thing because I think it's annoying. And like, I'm a pro gamer, right? So I don't need the extra Estus flasks. Like 5 is fine. I don't know. I usually played like a Dex Int build. Because I'm lazy, right? And you just gracefully backflip across like your enemies. And I usually used Velka's rapier because, it scales with both Dex and Int. So it means that, like, it covers its bases, right? I also think it's funny that the heavy attack two-handed is him, like, your character, like, swings the rapier in a V formation. I think that's silly. It's really dumb. It is what it is. The cave swallows you back into the hotel's depths. A velvety, that's it, darkness to which your eyes struggle to adapt. Your breathing and footsteps echo all the way up the spiral staircase. Your shadow extends long into the chamber, turning irregular over the floor's jagged rocks. As your eyes settle down, you gaze upon it, at how Gargantua Punisher! I miss Buddy Fight, guys. That was like one of the best card games ever made. At how gargantuan it is, the shadow of a man. Asterion sits against one of the chamber's walls, looking at you and at the beast stretching from your feet. And at this beast is stretching from your... Okay. The fire from the eyes flicker at you. I got the mirror, and now we can get the hotel back and running, right? You hand it down to Asterion. Am I saying that right? Probably not. His fingers graze and curl softly over the bronze, and then he takes it from your hand with a ceremonial grace and cradles it against his chest. It's so cute with him in his like oversized clothes. I don't know. He's really cute. Do we get to see him like not shriveled? Curious. You take a good look at his fur and his shirt are matted with sweat despite the chamber's somewhat chilly temperature. His tail swishes behind them like a rowdy sea. I am sorry for not informing you about the foreman. I am truly sorry. I don't know what came over me, master. Don't worry about that. It was no trouble at all. He wanted me to send you out, but I wasn't going along with that. So we had to figure out another way. He wanted food, water, and shelter. I signed a contract with him letting him summon it. In exchange, we get the mirror. Yes, that is usually what he asks. The snake, he's an old thing from the labyrinth. His shape changes every now and then. He disappears for a few years at a time, even decades. But the foreman, he has existed for a few millennia now. His role, too, is to torture me. Thank you. Astron hugs the mirror. His fingers brush against the surface, teasing out the sharp cold of the metal. He holds it against his chest like something clearly precious. Something dearly precious. Is this clearly or dearly? Am I blind? Dearly. Dearly beloved? What song? What Final Fantasy game was Dearly Beloved from? Was that 6? I want to say 6, but I don't think that's correct. It's been too long. Oh well. Well then, shall we go back up? Yes, sir. Pardon my slowness. I am feeling a bit nauseous. This has left me in a panic. Oh, I can wait. You sit down beside Astron, taking a position quite distinct? Yes, from his, sitting cross-legged in contrast to his knees up. So, did he hurt you back then? Is that why you are afraid of him? He doesn't usually hurt me. He plays games to terrorize me, more often than not, and he sends out worse things to get me. These horrible things out there, creatures made by the gods themselves. Argos must be one of them, just gifted with more intelligence than bloodlust. The valley is beautiful, isn't it, Master? It is a sight to behold. But to me it is terrifying. A beautiful place can be hell too. For millennia, I was tortured there. Just being down here makes me sick. Master, would you allow me to speak frankly? You don't have to ask my permission like that. If you want to speak, do it. I'm giving you my permission to speak to me freely, whatever you like. Whatever you want, yeah. Your words cut through the gallery around you, and you hear the familiar hum coming from the staircase. The world itself shudders in response, as if your words took root and shifted it forcibly. The Minotaur took notice of the bone-chilling change around the both of you. You are quite lenient as far as masters go. There weren't many who ever allowed me such freedom. Ironically, Master Clement was one of the few who did. But that is not what I meant to say. The Minotaur takes a deep breath and averts his gaze from you. Please, never send me out to the valley. I will do anything for you. Anything at all. Just don't ask me to do this one thing. You may punish me however you want, if I do something wrong, even if I do everything right too. I'll take anything. Just please don't make me go out there. The game's gonna try to force him out there at some point, isn't it? Oh. But he's such a cute lad. I promise to never send him out there, yeah. Astron, look at me. I promise I will never send you out. I can't say I know exactly what they did to you out there. I understand if you don't want to talk about it, but I'll take your word, and I won't send you out. I meant what I told you last night. I want to be a good master to you, and the hotel. I won't hurt you, and I promise I will never send you out. Asterion. It's probably Asterion, isn't it? Asterion, yeah. Guys, my language skills are bad. Look at you with the... Asterion looks at you with half-closed eye. Nausea still twists inside him, and he sways back and forth as if... I just kind of want to Google that, because I just want to make sure, for future reference, if I'm even, like, saying that correctly. Let's... You know, this is why smartphones exist, so I can do this, specifically. Yeah.
Nausea.
I did have it right. Well, I said nausea, nausea. Nausea.
Nausea.
Nausea. Okay. A feeling of sickness within inclination to vomit. Loathing, revulsion. Okay. And he sways back and forth, and he sways back and forth as if pushed and pulled by the sea's waves. Your words are sweet as honey. A veil of lead falls on the Minotaur. His back gives out, and he curls forward, still holding the Minotaur, the mirror against his chest. He rests his horns on his knees and lets out a rumbling sigh from the depths of his lungs. Are you feeling all right? I'm just so tired. We can stay here for a while longer. Take your time. Astron groans again. I'm gonna comfort him. You lay an arm over Asterion's shoulders. Asterion tenses when you touch him, but it lasts only a moment. You catch him, turning his head slightly to his right, towards you. He responds with a long, deliberate blink, followed by his shoulders relaxing under your arm. Asterion is surprisingly warm. His messy fur doesn't do much for containing his body heat. He leans his head onto your arm, taking care not to lay his horn on you. There's half a foot separating the two of you. You scoot closer to him. He looks at you again, and something sparks in his eye. It's starvation from human touch. Asterion has spent decades locked away in a dark room, going hungry and thirsty, becoming emaciated year after year. You fed him, clothed him, and tended to his wounds, but a new form of hunger rears in his head now, and there's no way he can hide it. Now that you are close, he leans his weight on your shoulder and closes his eye. You pull him closer, accepting all of the exhaustion in his bones. At times, you feel his eye open again, shifting to and fro. He wants your warmth, but struggles to give in fully. The battle keeps raging inside him, and the side of remaining close to you wins out. Asterion mentioned that Master Jean used to pet him behind the ear. Now he only has one. Oh. But the way he flicks it at you has an inviting quality. You pet him, and he melts on you, nuzzling like a child. Your chest rumbles with the deep sigh that drips out from his throat. You let him doze off on your shoulder for as long as he wants. Eventually, Asterion signals you he's ready to make his way back upstairs. You have to stop a few times to let Asterion rest, but eventually you make it up to the ground floor and to the lounge. Within the old lounge, glorious and eaten away by time, you and Asterion find a soot-covered hearth right across from the bar. It is circled by a set of armchairs. Their leather has cracked and dried, but no amount of damage can hide the talent with which they were made. Sunlight falls in front of the hearth, coming through the tall glass windows of the lounge. Asterion kneels before the warmth in a prayer-like position. He lays the mirrors aside for a moment and summons logs of wood and fine dry hay. Then he places the hay at the mirror's focal point. The beam and focused sunlight heats up the hay. You and Asterion wait. Decades ago, had the fire gone out, I would have been punished. Tending to it was one of my many duties, and failing to do so was one of the gravest mistakes I had made. Gotta link the flame, I see. Once it is lit again, the hotel will come back to life. This realm is quite unlike the world outside, is it not? It is hard for me to even remember what it was like when I was alive. Back home, when I was a boy, I went out hunting for wild goats with one of my brothers, finding our own food, bringing it back home. Our father would take me out to the field. People believed that I would bring them luck and good harvest. Food is harvested or hunted, wood is chopped down, homes are built with sweat and stone. But this world operates under different rules. The gods built the world where we were born, knowing well that we were fated to toil and suffer. Such is the fate of man. While you live, shine, and have no grief at all. Life exists only for a short while, and time demands its due. The gods appreciated it, the suffering of mortals, so they chose instead not to bind this realm by these same rules. If one wishes to inflict pain, he must chop down a tree and work the wood into a spear, then mine and refine the metal for its head. But here my jailer could summon, break, and summon spears to his heart's content. Why waste time working the land when he could easily summon all the food his body craves? So too could he bend the rules of life and space itself, the architecture of reality. The master's will is sovereign. As Asterion speaks, the hay twists as it dries further, and then darkens and emits a fine smoke. The pure flame will soon be at hand. The gods, however, seldom grasp humanity in ingenuity. Change confuses them. They would gladly go by centuries without changing, repeating the same days forever and ever. I saw that with my own eyes. I may be a monster, but I am half human. Change comes easily to me as well. I have shifted with each century, adapting to my master's will, doing whatever it took. A sliver of flame rises from the hay. Asterion picks it up, not caring for whether or not he gets burned, and places it between the logs. You have kindness in you. But human ingenuity, at times, goes too far. These are things the hotel cannot accomplish, no matter how much one tries. Man cannot be made immortal, for starters. The gods would have not been so lenient. Neither can the dead be brought back. The hotel will not make gold or silver in large quantities, and it will never print currency. More important of all, the realm needs precise instructions on what it is intended to fabricate. As powerful as the master can be, he can never be made into God. That is a fundamental rule of the labyrinth. No. A pure flame, fitting for the gods. The gods are gone. From the stories guests have told over the centuries, it seems to me that the world outside was very well on its way to leaving myth and magic behind. But their power lingers, and offering to them may still be heard, and the labyrinth will never let go of those fundamental rules. A man remains a man. While you live, shine, have no grief at all. Life exists only for a short while, and time demands his due. Okay. Have you listened to that song before, Master? I heard a woman from Ephesus? 15% battery life. Well, you're gonna be working tonight. Ephesus? Pronunciation. Ephesus. Okay. From Ephesus that sings. She said her husband wrote it for her when she died. A lot of people took to singing it down there, whether the Elysium or Tartarus. Life is short, for some more than others. It ought to be enjoyed. Whoever bequeaths you the hotel's deed gave you a gift greater than any fortune. This place and I will tend to your needs. You can live a blessed life, and if you allow this place to fulfill its man-made purpose, to give respite to those lost and wandering, it will give your life meaning as well. Even an existence as wretched as mine can have beauty, my lord. I have not quite known why I am telling you all this. I suppose I miss talking, and I feel so nervous all of a sudden. Don't worry about it. I like listening to you. This is fine, you know. Talking like this in front of a fire, I can't say I've fully figured out how this hotel works and what's going on, but this is a nice moment, don't you think? Yes, it is indeed. The flame looks like an ordinary fire, but something in it pulls your attention to it. For a long time, hours maybe, you and Asterion gaze at it. At the back of your mind, you can hear the hotel creaking and twisting, furniture dragging itself here and there, fabric ripping and sewing itself back up. You can, just at the corner of your vision, notice the lounge remaking itself. The sun drags itself through the sky. At some point, a vague shape materializes between you and Asterion. A wine bottle. The Minotaur is just as sluggish as you, but he manages to pick it up and open it. He offers the bottle to you before taking a sip himself, but you let him have all of it. Much like last night, he drinks directly from the bottle, although this time, he proves better at managing his half-skeletal mouth. But your attention is pulled back to the fire. The flame dim the harder you look until settling down into barely lit embers. Perhaps it's your eyes tricking you, but on the hearth's flame, a scene unfolds. There's you, Asterion, and the lounge. It shifts and sways. At times, it reverts to an archaic, right? That's what that word is. Maybe? A tavern. Its floor lined with ceramic tiles and its walls covered by barrels of aging wine. Then it leaps ahead to what you can only believe is the future, but it is as if the fire is indecisive. At times you see a classy restaurant and refined dressed patrons with a wide figure behind a bar. It's a scenic space, but one with an underlying strictness that has that some could consider stifling. But there is another possibility. Yo, what is this eagle bird? A rowdy place, perhaps even okay, what is this word? Let's clear that bar. LASCIVIOUS. Uh, just that. Uh,
Lascivious.
wait, what?
Lascivious.
Lascivious. Okay. Of a person, manner, or gesture, feeling or revealing an overt or often offensive sexual desire. Huh. Okay. With a scantily clad man managing it, the kind of place where one would live out unforgettable shenanigans, both disgraceful and re energizing. These two visions of the lounge seem to struggle against each other. A weight falls on your shoulders. The flame repeats the vision again and again, pushing you to make a choice. The hotel demands an answer. What is your will? I mean, I see a bird. I want to go with the bird. Even though this does sound really nice. Like I'll admit I'm a person that doesn't like things like super rowdy, you know. I like a nice classy, scenic, a little bit stricter, you know. But at the same time, there's a bird. As you make your choice, a sense of finality descends, as if you had broken a seal or perhaps signed a contract. You are pulled out of your meditation. Asterion looks looks as well to the fire, unfazed by what happened. I was afraid I'd be locked in there forever. It kept coming back to me. Was this the fate of the gods? Were they locked away somewhere? Stuck and forgotten? Is that why they disappeared? If only I could disobey Master Clement's orders. I would have rammed that door down on the very same day he threw me in, but I couldn't. I couldn't disobey the Master. Neither can I disobey you. For all those years I thought, and thought, and thought. There was nothing else I could do, and my body was rotting away. I thought about all that could happen, every little possibility. I wish I could tell you that tell you that I dreamed, and indeed at times I allowed myself to hope. But more often than not, I thought about all the bad that could come next, every possibility. It is difficult for me to believe I am free. At times I catch myself thinking that this must be one of my daydreams. I was certain you'd send me out to the foreman, and it would all turn into a nightmare. My stomach was turning. I sat down because I couldn't stay up. I think I'll end the part here, actually. Yeah. I'll see you around, everyone.